Good evening and welcome to ICU TV Main News. Let's take a look at the top stories making headlines. Paramount Chief Mpezeni IV laid to rest. Kawana condemns violence, warns against incitement. MCDSS trains journalists in social protection reporting. In international news, Kenyan police disperse protests over Ebola. In sports news, Somali referee ruled out of World Cup. Presenting the news, I am Yamba Margaret, and now the news in details. The nation has bid farewell to Paramount Chief Mpezeni IV of the Ngoni people, who has been laid to rest at the Mpezeni Palace in Chipata. The funeral drew thousands of mourners, including President Hakainde Hichilema, traditional leaders, and government officials. Chipotike Piwi brings us more in this report.
Paramount Chief Mpezeni IV of the Ngoni people has been laid to rest at the Mpezeni Palace in Chipata, bringing to a close one of the longest-serving and most influential traditional reigns in Zambian history. The river traditional leader, born David Njengembasojere, died in Lusaka on May 30, 2026. He ascended to the Ngoni throne in 1982 following the death of his father, Paramount Chief Mpezeni III, and went on to serve his people with distinction for 44 years. Thousands of mourners, including President Hakainde Hichilema, traditional leaders, government officials, members of the Ngoni royal establishment, and citizens from across Zambia and neighboring countries gathered at Mpezeni Palace to pay their final respects. Throughout his reign, Paramount Chief Mpezeni IV was widely respected as a custodian of Ngoni culture and tradition. He played a pivotal role in promoting unity, preserving cultural heritage, and elevating the Ntwala traditional ceremony into one of Zambia's premier cultural events. Addressing mourners during the funeral service, President Hakainde Hichilema described the late chief as a unifying statesman whose influence extended far beyond Eastern Province. He praised Paramount Chief Mpezeni IV for his wisdom, humility, and unwavering commitment to peace and national cohesion.
And I want to say that we shared this understanding with him that God did not create us to be lazy. God created us to work hard, and that work does not kill. And Ngwenyama produced food, first for himself and family, and encouraged the Ngonis, communities around here, to produce food for themselves. And that can only happen through hard work and dedication. So we remember him for that. Advocated for agriculture, food security, and indeed enhancing people's lives in terms of the quality of lives. He partnered with government to advance education, especially when your government introduced free education.
The death of Paramount Chief Mpezeni IV has been widely regarded as a significant loss to both the Ngoni people and the nation at large. Tributes from across the country have highlighted his enduring contribution to cultural preservation, traditional leadership, and community development. Speaking during the funeral procession, Paramount Chief Mbelwa V of the Ngoni people of northern Malawi and a descendant of King Zwangendawa's royal lineage, described the late Paramount Chief Mpezeni V as not only a chief, but also a brother and a great friend whose leadership helped unite the Ngoni people across the region.
The 4-year reign that spanned the administrations of all 7 presidents of Zambia, from Dr. Kenneth Kaunda to the current president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. It is altogether befitting that you, Your Excellency, the President, have decided to honor my brother with an official funeral, a rare honor that is reserved for this nation's sons and daughters of distinction.
As Zambia bids farewell to the respected traditional leader, Paramount Chief Mpezeni IV leaves behind a legacy of service, dignity, peace, and cultural pride that will continue to inspire future generations. Chipo TK Piri for ICU TV.
Information and Media Permanent Secretary Tabo Kawana has condemned acts of violence in Kawe district and warned that individuals found inciting public disorder will face the full force of the law. Speaking during a press briefing, Mr. Kawana said Kawe Central mayoral candidate Wilson Pondamali should be viewed in his capacity as a political aspirant and not as journalist regarding the matter under discussion. He urged citizens to uphold peace and avoid engaging or promoting violence, particularly during the election period. Mr. Kawana emphasized that law enforcement agencies remain committed to maintaining law and order and will not hesitate to take action against anyone found wanting. He further discouraged members of the public from taking the law into their own hands, urging them instead to report incidents to the relevant authorities for appropriate action. The Ministry of Community Development and Social Services has launched a media training program for journalists from Muchinga and northern provinces aimed at strengthening reporting on social protection programs. The initiative seeks to enhance public awareness of government interventions by improving collaboration between the ministry, media institutions, and local communities. Speaking during the opening session, Senior Principal Planner Mpande Mtandwa underscored the media's critical role in disseminating information and educating citizens on government programs and services. Mr. Mtandwa said the training is designed to equip journalists with a deeper understanding of social protection initiatives, enabling them to provide accurate and informative coverage that helps communities access available support. Meanwhile, Mbika District Commissioner David Siame called for continued engagement between government and the media, noting that increased public awareness would help reduce misconception and promote transparency in program implementation and beneficiary selection. You are still watching ICU TV main news. We now take our first set of commercials. Please stay tuned for more news.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. In our local stories, a DNA report presented before the Lusaka Magistrates Court has found that a 41-year-old Zambia Air Force flight sergeant accused of defiling his 14-year-old daughter is not the biological father of the child she later gave birth to. According to ZNBC News, forensic analyst Innocent Makasa told the court that DNA test confirmed the accused, identified as GBM, is not the biological father of the alleged victim, but excluded him as the father of her baby. The accused has urged that the findings support his defense. However, the court held that the DNA results cannot determine whether he had carnal knowledge of the victim. Magistrate Kawana Mwamfudi has set July 8, 2026 for judgment in the matter. Many meal prices have continued to fall across Zambia, with millers reducing prices between 40 kwacha and 50 kwacha following the appreciation of the kwacha and expectation of a bumper maize harvest. Millers Association of Zambia President Andrew Chintala said prices have been declining for the past 3 weeks and expressed hope that more milling companies will follow suit. Meanwhile, ShopRite announced further reduction on selected milling meal brands, with prices expected to drop by between 10 kwacha and 17 kwacha. Retailers have also reported increased demand as consumers respond to the lower prices. Industry players said the price reduction reflects positive market fundamentals, including improved maize supply prospects and a stronger local currency. We now take our second set of commercials. Please stay tuned for international and sports news.
We are the dreamers reaching for the sky. At ICU, together we will rise. With knowledge and passion, we aim to achieve a future so bright, with more to believe. We're building
are the best graduating students, masters in the School of Humanities.
Will be denied. From Lusaka to the world, we stand tall and strong.
Hi, I'm Genea Moyo, and I am ICU.
We're rising high with education.
Welcome back. In international news, Police in Kenya have fired tear gas to disperse protesters in the town of Nayuki who were demonstrating against plans to establish an Ebola quarantine center for US citizens. The demonstrators carrying Kenyan flag placards and a mock coffin labeled Ebola demanded the cancellation of the project, citing concerns over infection risks and a lack of transparency from authorities. The protests came days after two people were reportedly shot dead during similar demonstrations. The proposed facility has sparked public debate over its potential impact on public health and safety. While still in international news, a military court in the Democratic Republic of Congo has sentenced Army Colonel Jean de Dieu Mambweni to death for his role in the 2017 murder of two United Nations experts in central DRC. The High Military Court in Kinshasa found the officer guilty of orchestrating the killings, overturning a previous 10-year sentence handed down in 2022 for failing to assist persons in danger and disobeying orders. Military prosecutors had appealed the earlier ruling, urging that Colonel Mambweni bore greater responsibility for the deaths. Although sentenced to death, the punishment is expected to amount to life imprisonment, as the DRC has not carried out an execution since 2003. We take another short break. Please stay tuned for more news in sports. In sports news, Omar Atani, who was set to become the first Somali referee to officiate at the FIFA World Cup final, has been withdrawn from the list of tournament officials after being denied entry into the United States. Atani, the 2025 CAF Men's Referee of the Year, was stopped at Miami International Airport and later returned to Turkey. U.S. immigration authorities have not provided a reason for the decision. However, Somalia is among the countries affected by travel restrictions. And that sports item brings us to the end of our main news today. Before we go, a quick recap on the top stories making headlines. Paramount Chief Mpezeni IV laid to rest. Kawana condemns violence, warns against incitement. MCDSS trains journalists in social protection reporting. In international news, Kenyan police disperse protests over Ebola. In sports news, Somali referee ruled out of World Cup. Thank you so much for watching. For more news updates, please stay glued to our Facebook page at ICU TV and our